Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. In this video, we're looking at the top 10 meta decks for the first week of Rise of the Phoenix season. There's a couple of decks that are still in here that have been in here for the last month. Next week's patch better bring some balances because the first three decks are going to be what you've seen for the last month, 2 months. I don't know how long they've been here since High Evil came out, pretty much. Let's get into it. So, like I said, first decks, ones you've seen before. Bounce. Still one of the best decks, if not the best deck. Not really much to say on here. There are some different variations of them going around, like more tech. You could go collector. So people are changing. There's even a Thanos list. I did a video yesterday on a Thanos list. There is different versions, which is great. You love to see them changing a little bit. Bounce is one of the ones that is evolving, which I love to see. So it probably makes it #1 deck. These aren't in any real order, really. I just did the first three are the best three, and then the rest are just good decks. They're in no real order, though, like I said. So next up is a Evo Control deck. There is different versions of this as well, but this is kind of the main put, where you've got your Daredevil, your Storm, Professor X, Spider-Man with a Hulk or a Doom. So it's kind of very similar. But yeah, it's an Evo Control, Lockdown, whatever you want to call it. Next up, one of the least flexible ones, I think, which is Lockjaw. You could switch Killmonger for Wave, Shang-Chi, Ham. You could even switch some of the 6 drops for Infinite if you're seeing a lot of Hams and stuff like that. You could go Dracula. I'll take it back, it is kind of flexible. So those are the 3 main decks you've probably seen. Number of videos on them. Sick and tired of seeing them. Can't wait for them to be nerfed. So let's get on to other decks. This one, again, has been around for a little while. Falls out of meta, comes back. It's just a stat list. So you've got your Zabu package with Enchantress, Zabu, Darkhawk, Rock Slide. You've got a movement card with Miles. You've got Stature, Black Ball. You've got tech cards. It's flexible, like you don't need to run Enchantress. You could run any other card in here. You could go Shavaz. You could go Iron Lad. You could go another move card. You could put Jeff in here. You put Jeff up Silk. You can change the 1-drops from Nebula to Sunspot to Spider Ham. It is flexible, but the main cards are like the Zabu, Hawk, Rock Slide, Miles, a move card, Stature, Black Bolt, because it's all about cheap stats. Wave's slowly falling down, so this deck comes back up when Wave stops being the card. Decks like this that can cheat out cards go up, and I've seen a lot less Wave, which means this deck's slowly creeping back up again. A deck that has been coming up recently, like this month, I've seen a lot of Destroy. This is kind of a basic. All these decks are kind of like the basic go-to. Like if you start from these decks, I say it every time. These decks that I put up here are the starting spot. They're not the best deck. You don't have to play every single one of these cards. You change decks. You change cards. If you play a deck and you see a card that's not working for you, change it. Don't need to change the deck completely. Just change that one card. I do it a lot. Some cards don't work for me. Some cards work for other people. Sometimes I just don't see value in them. So this one's just destroy. Deadpool type stuff that you're destroying Deadpool over and over and over again. Carnage and Venom, Deathlock, and then you end up with a big old Null or a Death. There's different versions of this. There's one going around right now with Nimrod, which is kind of cool. Like Invisible Woman, Nimrod, Destroyer, Taskmaster, stuff like that. Really fun deck. But I'm kind of sticking to the basics that a lot of people can have. The Destroy is good right now. Next up, we have Dino. Off the recent buff to Nick Fury, it's kind of been on the rise. So this is Dino Hawk. Like, obviously, Zabu Hawk has been good for ages. Now, Nick Fury, adding extra cards, playable. You got Quinjet, so you can go Fury, a 6-drop, 6-drop if you wanted to, or you can go, or you get your Dino into your Mystique or your Hawk Mystique. You know, plenty of options. Really good for Conquest because random cards they can't play around, which makes it amazing. Next up, this is a deck I got, a similar deck to I got Infinite with, if not the exact same cards. I think they might be the same cards, but yeah, Surfer does really well. Again, super flexible. You can take out Maximus, Polaris, whatever for other cards. You can have Invisible Woman in here if you want to hide stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm missing. I had Invisible Woman in here for Cosmo, I believe, or Silk or something. We've got the main changes. Spider-Man instead of Sarah, you lock him down. The dirty lockdown Surfer list. It's really fun. It's climbing Infinite so quick. I've seen a lot of people using a similar list to get Infinite. Great list. If you like Surfer, consider changing Sarah for Spider-Man and just locking him down. Really good. Everyone's favourite card. It would be rude not to stick a Galactus deck in here. I know how much people love Galactus, so here's a basic Galactus list. It's pretty straightforward. You got your Wolverine, you got your Ramp, you got your Doc Ock, your Galactus, your Spider-Man, Death, Null. It's pretty straightforward. Don't really need to say much. This has been the standard Galactus list since Galactus came out, pretty much. Well, since Null was added, should I say. Lastly, Patriot with the weekend missions. It'd be rude not to put in a Patriot list. So this is like a techie Patriot list. There's plenty of other Patriot lists going around. This is like, you've got Invisible Woman and you can put Killmonger and Shang-Chi out there to deal with him. You've got big stats in like Brood, Mr. Sinister, Iron Lad to cheat stuff out. You got buffs in Blue Marvel, Patriot Mystique, Doom to go across. Obviously, I'm not running cards like Debris or Ultron, stuff like that you could play. Patriot, another list, super open. Fun list. I actually really enjoy playing Patriot. And lastly, I couldn't make a list for the first week without putting the Battle Pass card in. So here's just a straight up. This is a list that had the best stats that I could find for a Phoenix list. I don't think Phoenix is amazing right now. I think it's an interesting card and I want it to be good. Any card that requires 3 other cards to get going kind of struggles to get going. Like if Phoenix destroyed one of your cards and brought it back or something like that, it'd be good. But because it requires you to play a card that's good for Phoenix to bring back, then you've got to destroy that card. It's so slow. It's just so slow, which kind of sucks. I do think someday Phoenix will have its spot and it will be good. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.